Alright, hello everybody, and welcome into a little late night strat action. I am Craig here on the RNGIDP channel. Give us a follow at Twitter at RNGIDP_strat. And by us, I mean me. Tonight we've got it should be a good game. We've got the San Francisco Giratina against the New York Metagross. Both teams struggling, but somebody's going to win. And so two evenly matched teams, although two teams that are underperforming, you could say, up to this point. New York Metagross come into this game 4-7, having lost 5 straight games. Their last game, they had the day off, so they got to sit there and think about their 5-game losing streak in yesterday's game day 12, while San Francisco lost their 4th in a row to Pittsburgh 7-2 in game day 12. So both teams looking to bounce back. Both teams have some decent pitchers on the mound, and we'll see how this one plays out. So let's get you the starting lineups. Taijuan Walker will be the pitcher for the home New York Metagross. 4-7. They are in 12th place in the league. San Francisco is right below them in 13th. Both teams struggling to their pitching is struggling, you could say. They've scored 43 runs, has New York, and given up 52. And San Francisco has scored only 31 runs, which is amongst the least amount in the Kanto League, the KL. So they need to get their bats awake, and they have given up 48 runs for a -17 run differential. But like I said, somebody's got to win tonight, and we'll see who it is. So for the visiting San Francisco squad, here's how they will line up. Rajai Davis, kind of a unorthodox leadoff hitter, but in this lineup, this is how we have to play it. As I've said before, these are randomized rosters, and so these teams are all random, and the cards were favorable to some, and some of them were not. So the lineups are a little makeshift, the bullpens are a little makeshift, and the starting pitching, some teams just didn't get a good roll in that, as far as that goes. Colorado, I can think of offhand. All right, so Rajai Davis will lead off. He's hitting .208, 10 hits this season, no home runs, no ribbies, so really struggling production-wise. 11 strikeouts at the top of the order and only 1 walk. Javier Baez, the second baseman, hitting second. He is hitting .234 on the season, no homers, 3 runs driven in, but 15 strikeouts to only 1 walk. Marwin Gonzalez is the first baseman. He's hitting a paltry 178, only 8 hits and 45 at-bats so far. No homers for him, 3 ribbies, 15 strikeouts for Gonzalez also. And the main offensive weapon for San Francisco, hitting in the cleanup spot, the 4th spot, the right-hander and right fielder, Giovanni Stanton. He's hitting .341. That is by far the highest average on the squad by at least 100 points. And he has 7 home runs. He is the league leader in home runs by himself. He was clear by 2 home runs over the next highest man, the Philadelphia's Jared Gorko. So Stanton, the league leader in home runs with 7. But if you look at his RBI total, he only has 8 driven in. So 7 home runs and 8 driven in. That's really difficult to do. Those guys in front of him are struggling to get on base. All right, Matt Duffy is the third baseman and hitting in the 5 spot. Third baseman, Matt Duffy hitting .262. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop. Johnny Peralta is struggling, hitting .263, 1 homer, but he's got 9 driven in. He is the team leader in RBI. Franklin Gutierrez is the left fielder, another right-hander. Franklin Gutierrez is hitting .143. And Chris Iannetta will be doing the catching today. Kind of a split between him and Tofik Goswitch. Iannetta trying to get him out of this slump. He's hitting .094. .094, yeah. 3 hits in 32 at-bats. No homers, no RBIs. And he is struggling behind the plate, you can say that. And pitching for San Francisco and hitting ninth will be Robbie Ray, the left-hander. And he is a weak-hitting left-handed batter. All right, I think all the pregame stuff has been worked out. As you can see, we are in New York. And singles, ballpark singles will be hard to come by. You have to roll a 1 for home runs, left or right. You got to roll a 1 or 1 through 11, so that's a 55% chance. So, Taijuan Walker comes into this game, 0-2 record, a 4.91 ERA. I feel like he's pitched better than that, but than his record shows. Let me pull up his numbers real quick. He's only given up 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, and only 2 walks. So his whip equates to .82. So not terrible. Has run out of gas on a couple of occasions, if I can remember correctly. All right, so here we go. We are ready for some late night strat. And San Francisco against New York. Taijuan Walker gets the ball from the umpire, and this one is underway. So this will be a 6-5 to Rajai Davis. And that one's going to be a fly out to the right fielder, Jay Bruce. So a quick out to start the top of the first. Rajai Davis flies out, and Javier Baez, the right-hander, steps in, and he strikes out. Taijuan Walker through 2 quick innings to get in this game started. The switch hitter, Marwin Gonzalez now. That 3 column looks pretty good, and that is a single to center field right up the middle. And Marwin Gonzalez has a 2-out knock. Well, somebody's aboard now for the ever-dangerous Giancarlo Stanton. He does most of his damage in that 1 column. Look at his against left-handed pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 straight home runs and 2 ballpark home runs in that 1 column against lefties. This will be a 6-7, and a 6-7 as Giancarlo Stanton just gets underneath it and pops it up to the shortstop. So, New York is able to get a 2-out single, but can't do anything with it. And they leave Marwin Gonzalez stranded at first. And now we'll go through the home New York Metagross lineup. They will face the left-hander Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray comes into the game with no record, 0-0, a 4.09 ERA. Let me check his numbers quickly. Robbie Ray has given up 15 hits in 11 innings, 5 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, and 5 walks. His whip is a 1.82, so he's been dealing with a little bit of traffic, and if they can get anybody on, they've come around a few times on him. All right, so we will go through the New York lineup. New York is facing the lefty, so they've made a few switches today, and they are without their regular second baseman, Dustin Pedroia, who's been out on 2 different occasions now and is just about to be back. I believe it's in the next game. So they will lead off with Anthony Gose, the left-hander. He's playing center field today, hitting .326. Not a bad average. No home runs, 5 RBIs. Does have 9 walks and 2 stolen bases. Chris Taylor gets the start today. Howie Kendrick has been filling in for the injured Dustin Pedroia and filling in pretty well, hitting 8 for 24 so far. But he gets the day off, and the utility man, Chris Taylor, will get the start at second base. Chris Taylor in limited duty is 1 for 4 this season with a double, a strikeout. That's about all he's done. Justin Upton, the left fielder, will hit right-handed and bat third. Justin Upton is just under the Mendoza line at 196. 2 home runs, 8 driven in for him. The team lead with 8 driven in. Jay Bruce, the left-hander, Jay Bruce hitting 133 out of the cleanup spot. So a little rough go for him. He's batting left-handed and hitting in right field. 1 homer, 3 RBIs for him. Need to get his power game going. Wellington Castillo will do the catching today. Wellington Castillo, he is 11 for 44 on the season so far. 2 homers and 5 ribbies, so his bat has been pretty decent. Mitch Moreland, the left-hander playing first baseman, will hit 6th. Mitch Moreland is 5 for 20 on the season with a homer and 2 driven in. Marcus Semien, the shortstop. Marcus Semien is hitting 244 with a homer, 4 RBIs, 13 strikeouts, which is a little high for him. And Hernan Perez will be in the 8th spot in third, hitting in the 8th spot, playing third base. And he is, let me find his numbers real quick. He is hitting 326, so surprisingly high for him. May have to move him up in the order if he keeps hitting like that. And no homers, 5 driven in. He flips the lineup over pretty well. And this will be Taijuan Walker batting, the weak power hitting right-handed pitcher, doing the batting in the 9th spot. All right, so with all the pleasantries being done, the bottom half of the inning is about to start. We're just underway here on the RNGIDP channel. Thank you for joining me. Check us out on YouTube. Check me out on YouTube. I don't know why I keep saying us. Check me out on YouTube, where you're at, on Twitter, at RNGIDP_strat. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so this is a 1-9 to the lefty, Anthony Gose, and Anthony Gose is staying hot. This looks like it's a hot shot down the line, and that will be a triple to lead off the game. A 1-11 chance for a triple, and 11 was rolled. And Anthony Gose with a lead-off triple to get this game started for New York. Left-on-left crime there with a lead-off triple. And now Chris Taylor with nobody out. And is it a little bit premature to bring the infield in? Probably, right? Probably. But they're going to do it anyway. Chris Taylor is a good runner, so they're going to try and cut this ball off and keep the man at third from scoring. So this is a 3 against the left-hander. 3-4 is a ballpark single chance, so he needs to roll a 1 to get anything here, and that's a 5, so it will be a line out. That will be a line out to the shortstop, who is Johnny Peralta. So that's just what the doctor ordered to get the first out of the inning. It's a line out, a quick line out. And now Justin Upton is up to bat. And they're going to continue keeping the infield in. San Francisco is desperate for a win, desperate to keep those runs off the board. This is a 4-8, and a 4-8 will be a walk. So Robbie Ray is nibbling a little bit after getting shell-shocked with a leadoff triple. So now runners on the corners. They're going to bring the infield back with Jay Bruce up, trying to get him to ground into a double play. So Jay Bruce, the cleanup hitter, looking to snap out of that hitting funk that he's been stuck in. And this one is a shot to third. That's an X chance for the third baseman, Matt Duffy. That's an 8. He is a third baseman with a range of 2. A 2.8 is going to go to his error rating. That is a 15. Error rating is a 15, and we rolled an 8. And so Duffy is able to make a diving stop, toss it over to second, and complete the double play. So 5, 4, 3, Duffy turns the double play. And that is just what Robbie Ray ordered. Was an ending double play. So surprisingly, a leadoff triple doesn't come around to score. How often does that happen? And Anthony Gose has to be looking around wondering what happened. Robbie Ray struts off the mound and into the dugout with a little pep in his step. And Taijuan Walker now in the top of the second pitches to Matt Duffy, the man who got him out of the inning. It's a 1-9, and that looks pretty good for Duffy. Duffy gets a hold one, and this is a triple of his own into the gap and makes it all the way to third. A leadoff triple in back-to-back half innings. Well, that's something you don't see every day. And now Johnny Peralta is up to bat. San Francisco, well, New York sees what they did with in the bottom half, and they're going to bring their infield in too to see if it can work for them. So 5-6, that's a fly ball to center field. That looks like it's going to be enough. The center fielder steps back, makes the catch, but Matt Duffy will tag, and that is a sacrifice fly to the center fielder. And we have our first run of the ball game. So Johnny Peralta, who I mentioned leads the team in runs driven in, now drives in his 10th run on the season and takes a 2 RBI lead on the next guy, Giovanni Stanton, on the team. Franklin Gutierrez with the bases clear. It's a 5-8, and that one is a chance for the second baseman. Of course, you knew the fill-in second baseman would get dirty early. That's Chris Taylor, but he's not a bad second baseman. That's a 2-range second baseman, and a 219 is going to be a good play. So Taylor gets his pants dirty, but is able to make the play, and that's the second out of the inning. Chris Iannetta now looking to get over the 100 line in batting average. And this is a 6-7, and he's not going to do it. He's going to drop even further. That's a pop out to the shortstop, Marcus Semien. So that'll end the inning. Iannetta can't flip the lineup over, but they do get a run off a leadoff triple from Matt Duffy. And Johnny Peralta sacrifices him in to take a 1-0 lead for San Francisco into the bottom of the second. And we'll see if the momentum that Robbie Ray had to end the last half will continue here. So this is Wellington Castillo, and that is a shortstop X chance. The shortstop is Johnny Peralta, the man who just drove in a run. And we rolled an 8. Johnny Peralta is not as great a fielder as he used to be. A 4.8 is going to his E rating. He is an E10 and an E10 with a 4. So let's check that. E10 with a 4, and that's going to be an error on Johnny Peralta. Bobbles it a little bit, kicks it, and gives the slow-running Wellington Castillo just enough time to make it over to first. He reaches on an error. So Wellington Castillo is aboard for the left-hander Mitch Moreland, the first baseman. Mitch Moreland with Wellington Castillo, who's not a threat to steal. This is a 6-7. A 6-7 is a second base X chance. So another ground ball, this time to Baez, the other side of the infield. Baez is a little bit more sure-handed. He is a second base with a range of 2. A 2-7 is a ground ball B, so they're able to get the out at short of Castillo, but Mitch Moreland beats out the throw, the relay, and he switches bases, switches positions with Wellington Castillo. So Moreland is on first now with 1 out. Marcus Semien, his first at bat of the game. This is a 3-7, and he strikes out for the first strikeout of the game for Robbie Ray. 2 outs now at the bottom of the second. New York at bat, down a run, and Hernan Perez Hernan Perez with a 2-11, and that one is a grounder back to the pitcher, who's able to make the scoop and toss it easily over to first, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. So we go to the 3rd. San Francisco takes a 1-0 lead into the top of the 3rd. The pitcher, Robbie Ray, due up. Rajai Davis and Javi Baez. So the left-hander Robbie Ray steps into the box. Taijuan Walker deals, and this is a 6-6, and Robbie Ray strikes out. Second strikeout of the day for Taijuan Walker. And the lineup flips, and Rajai Davis, who flew out to the right fielder to start the game, makes his way back up for his second at-bat. And this one is another fly ball, but this is going to be in the infield, and that is a pop out to short. And that's the second out of the inning. Javi Baez now looking to extend this inning. 6-3 will be a pitcher X chance. So he hits it back to the pitcher. Taijuan Walker is a 3-range pitcher. A 317 is going to go to his E rating, which is a 34. Walker is not a great fielder. An E34, and we rolled a 10. So Walker is able to make the pick barehanded and toss it over to first to end the inning. Walker showing some glove work there with a nice play. That might get on the highlight reels later. And sits him down in order to start the 3rd inning. Taijuan Walker smiling and giggling as he makes his way to the bat. He's a weak right-handed hitter. This is a 5-9, and that could come in play because if he was normal, a 1-5 would be a home run. But instead, he drives it to the gap for a double. Taijuan Walker, the pitcher, throws a double, throws his bat out there, connects, and hits a double. So he's standing on second, still having a laugh. And Anthony Gose, the man who led off the bottom of the 1st with a triple, but didn't come around to score, now stares out there at an RBI in waiting. It's a 2-5, and maybe he was a little too excited because he strikes out. Second strikeout of the day. First out of the bottom of the 3rd. And Chris Taylor now. Chris Taylor's card is not all that great. But this one is coming off Robbie Ray's, and that is a 5-5, and Chris Taylor strikes out. So back-to-back strikeouts. The double to the pitcher must have shook the cobwebs off of Robbie Ray and woken him up a little bit, because he is pitching angry now, striking out the last 2 batters. Justin Upton now looking to drive in that run. And it's a 2-11. That one's a fly to left. The left fielder Gutierrez camps under it, makes the play, and this inning is over. So once again, New York wastes a leadoff extra base hit. And can't bring the run around to score. And those are the kind of things that have them sitting at 4-7 on the season, not converting on those kind of plays. Taijuan Walker, done catching his breath, now pitches to Marwin Gonzalez, who had a single his last time up. And this is a 5-11, and Marwin Gonzalez gets a hold of this one. Will it be enough to get out? The left-handed batter with a 1-11 chance, and no, that is not going to get out. The the right fielder makes the play at the wall. and Gonzalez is out for the first out of the inning. Well, he gave it a charge. Maybe Walker was a little bit out of gas from running the bases and hung one. But it's lucky that it stayed in the yard. Giancarlo Stanton, this is a 5-10, and he gets a hold of one. Will it be enough this time? And no, the left fielder this time. The left fielder, Justin Upton, is able to track this one down at the wall and make the play. So Walker is not fooling anybody. And now he has to deal with the guy who hit a triple off of him his last time up. 2 would-be home runs that just died in the New York weather at the wall. And now Duffy. And Duffy hits it hard, but right at the third baseman, Perez. And Perez makes the play for the third out. So Walker, 3 hard hit balls and nothing to show for it for San Francisco. And the top half of the 4th inning was exciting, but no runs were scored. And Robbie Ray now faces the left-hander Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce grounded into a double play his last time up to kill the momentum in the 1st inning. And that's a 5-9. A 5-9, and oh, this one could be hit pretty well. 1-5, and it's a home run for the normal batter. He is normal power, and we rolled a 1, so this one is gone. Jay Bruce hits this one straight to dead center, and that is a home run off the lefty, Robbie Ray. Well, he made up for his first inning blunder, hitting into a double play to end the inning, and just smashed one to center field to give the to tie it up for New York. And Wellington Castillo watched that one with much pleasure from the on-deck circle. He is up now, and this is a 6-9, and the 6-9 is 6-8, excuse me. 6-8, and that one's a little bit better for Wellington Castillo, and that is a single. So back-to-back hits here against Robbie Ray, and New York is in business here. Mitch Moreland, the lefty, with the you wouldn't call him a speedster at first, Wellington Castillo. This is a 6-9. A 6-9 is a grounder to first. The first baseman Gonzalez wheels and turns to the shortstop. Peralta is able to make the play back to Gonzalez, and that is a 3-6-3 double play. Well, Robbie Ray has lived by the double play. Gotten 2 critical ones, and now Marcus Semien steps in, and that is a 1-12, and that one's a fly ball to right. The right fielder Stanton makes an easy play, and that's the third out of the inning. But not before Jay Bruce smashes one over the center field wall and ties up the ball game 1-1. Taijuan Walker is appreciative of the effort from Jay Bruce. He comes out to pitch to Johnny Peralta, who sacrifice flied in Matt Duffy in the 2nd inning. And this one is a 1-7. A 1-7 is a strikeout. So Taijuan Walker is has settled in a little bit. He is retired 10 in a row now after the triple from Duffy. And Franklin Gutierrez, who grounded out to his second base his first time up, now makes his way, and this is a 6-10, and a 6-10 is a ballpark single chance. That's going to be a rough one. It's got to be a 1, and it is not. So that is a line out. A line out to shortstop. The shortstop, Marcus Semien, makes the play. And Chris Iannetta, who's, yes, hitting under 100, under a buck. I don't know how you go home and you sleep at night hitting under 100 and keep getting put into the lineup, but that's what they're doing. And this is a 6-2, and that is a first base X chance. The first baseman is Gonzalez. Marwin Gonzalez is a shortstop by trade, but is carded for a first baseman, and he is not a bad one. First base with a range of 3. A 3-3 is a single 1-star, so just sneaks past him. And Chris Iannetta, we were talking all that mess about him, and look, he throws out a hit to turn over the lineup here. So Taijuan Walker will pitch to his opposite number, Robbie Ray, the left-hander. That's a 2-9. A 2-9 is a grounder to the first baseman. This time, Gonzalez can make the play, and that is a 3 unassisted to make the last out of the inning. So that ends the 5th. After Taijuan Walker finally gives up a hit, it had been 11 batters before he had given up a hit. After that triple in the 2nd. But the score is still 1-1 heading into the bottom half of the 5th inning. This one's moving along pretty quickly. Robbie Ray will now pitch to Hernan Perez. It's a 5-10. A 5-10 is a walk. So Hernan Perez continues to impress early in the season. Draws a walk there against Robbie Ray. And now Taijuan Walker. Taijuan Walker is a B bunter. They're going to bring the infield in. The infield is in, expecting a sacrifice, and that's just what they are going to get. And it'll be a C for his bunting skill with the infield in. And a C11. Batter pops out and the runners hold. So Walker is not able to get his job done. He pops out to, who was that? What did I say? Pops out to the first baseman. Gonzalez breaks quickly off his bag and is able to snag that pop out for the first out of the inning. Anthony Ghost now with a man on first. Perez, let's just double check this. Perez is a C-rated stealer. So they are going to hold him with 1 out to try and keep that double play in order. So that is a 1-11. So it'll be a 1-8. And we'll check and see the arm of Chris Iannetta. Iannetta is a +1. So it would be a 1-9 if we tried to steal. Perez isn't going to try and steal. Anthony Goes has some wheels. He's 1-17. So he's not going to hit into many double plays. This is a 2-8. A 2-8. Well, he's not going to hit into a double play this time because he's going to strike out. And that is the 4th strikeout for Robbie Ray. And the 2nd out of the inning here in the bottom of the 5th. So Perez out there at first with Chris Taylor up. And let's just check the bench here. We do have Howie Kendrick on the bench. Matt Kemp is the big bat off the bench. Stephen Piscotty, though, he's got some good black ink on his card. He is not rated for second base. Dan Ugla hitting 183 on this card. He's got a couple home runs there, though. And AJ Pierzynski. Chris Taylor, though, is going to hit here with 2 down. And a 3-7 is going to be a strikeout. So Robbie Ray battles back after giving up a leadoff walk. And once again, New York, that's the story of this one, with a leadoff man aboard and isn't able to do anything with it. And this one will move to the 6th inning tied at 1. All right, Taijuan Walker now pitches to Rajai Davis. And if you're wondering, Taijuan Walker's inning of weakness point is the 6th inning. So any point after this or during this inning, if he gives up 3 straight hits or walks combined, or not straight, 3 walks or hits combined, he will be a weak pitcher. This is a 4-11, and a floor 11 is a X chance to the left fielder. The left fielder is Justin Upton. Justin Upton is a 3-range left fielder. A 3-18 is a fly out to center or to left field. So Upton is able to make the play out and left, and that is the first out of the 6th inning. Javi Baez now, the second baseman, 0 for 2 today with a strikeout in the first inning. And that's a 6-8. And he gets a hold of this one, a 1-10, and it's a double. This is a 20. I moved it there. And so that is a single, a 1-out single for Javi Baez, and he's aboard. And you don't want to mess around with the next couple guys up to bat, especially Giancarlo Stanton. But he's got to get through Marwin Gonzalez first. Marwin Gonzalez has some black ink on this card. So 1 out here. Gonzalez up to bat. He is the left-handed batter. This one is a X chance to the pitcher. Back to the pitcher and see if Walker can field it. It's a 19. Walker is a 3-range pitcher. A 3-19 is a ground ball C. So Walker is able to bobble it, but picks it up, and his only play is going to be at first. So that's a 1-3 for the second out. Javi Baez is able to move over to second. And now there's a man in scoring position for the dangerous Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton, would they walk him here? Probably not. Duffy hurt him with a triple in the second inning, so maybe they would. Do they walk Stanton? No, you know what? Taijuan Walker, he's going to go for it. And this may not have been the right choice. A 2-8 or a 1-8, and he strikes him out. Look at that. Right all around is a bunch of home runs. But the faith in Taijuan Walker to pitch to him, and he strikes him out. The 4th strikeout of the day for Walker, and the 3rd, and he pumps his fist as he's walking off the mound, knowing that he just got out of one. So Giancarlo Stanton doesn't look happy about that. Angrily walks the dugout. And Robbie Ray now with Justin Upton up to bat. A walk and a fly out to left his last time up. This is a 5-5, and a 5-5 is a strikeout. So Robbie Ray has now struck out 3 batters in a row. This one with the first out in the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th. And now he's got the lefty Jay Bruce, but Jay Bruce homered to tie the ball game in the 4th inning against him. And I lost my die there. My die went flying. So hold on for 1 sec. A 3-6, and he hits it, dribbles it to the first baseman, and Gonzalez is able to scoop it up, toss it over to Ray, and that is the 2nd out of the inning. Al, Red Sox fan, thanks for joining the live stream. He's going to listen to it. Appreciate you at least tuning in. That's very nice of you. Thank you for doing so. And thank you for all the support you give me here and on Twitter at RNGIDP_Strat. All right, so Wellington Castillo with 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. And this is a 2 against the lefty, a 2-12, and that one's a dribbler back to the pitcher Ray, who is able to handle it. And just like with Jay Bruce, is able to make the play. So these pitchers are locked in a duel. through 6, it's 1-1. Well, in the game we played last night, if you haven't seen it, you can go watch it on the YouTube channel. But we had a pitcher's duel. I won't say much more than that. A pitcher's duel in that one, too. So this one is shaping up to be pretty fine. A pitcher's duel. We'll see if these offenses can do anything, which they haven't done much this season up to this point. But Matt Duffy leads off here against the right-hander Taijuan Walker. And he hits it sharply, but the second baseman, Taylor, is able to scoop it up and make the throw. Nice strong throw over to first, and he is the first out of the inning. Johnny Peralta now with the RBI for San Francisco on the day. A fly ball to center field to drive home Matt Duffy. Struck out his last time up, though. And this is a 1-3. A 1-3 is another play for Taylor at short. The injury replacement Taylor, he'll filling in for the injured Dustin Pedroia, getting his chances in and making the most of them. He is a slick fielding second baseman, and he makes the play. Franklin Gutierrez now with 2 down and the top of the 7th. This is a 1-3. This time to the shortstop, his opposite number. Simeon makes the play, and that is a quick 1-2-3 inning for Walker in the 7th. Walker's on cruise control now. Really hasn't been in much trouble today. The only thing that he gave up was that leadoff triple to Duffy. And in fact, I think that's only the 4th hit. He's only given up 4 hits so far, and only one of them has been for extra bases. Robbie Ray has had a little bit more rough of a go. Gave up a homer, leadoff homer in the 4th to Jay Bruce. Gave up a triple to Anthony Gose. And a double to the opposite number, Taijuan Walker. So a couple extra base hits in there, but not a whole lot else. Mitch Moreland, the lefty, will lead off. The first baseman. It's a 5-10, and Mitch Moreland. So you don't want to start walking people if you're Robbie Ray, especially the lefties. And now Marcus Semien. And let's have a look at the bullpen for San Francisco. San Francisco has some options of middle relievers. Matt Albers, who's been pretty strong this year. So is Josh Fields and McKirahan. Jumbo Diaz has worked a lot of innings out of the bullpen, and he's an option too. So pretty strong bullpen for San Francisco. They're not going to be afraid to pull the hook here if Ray continues to walk and put people aboard here. So Simeon will bat against the lefty Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray's point of weakness is the 6th inning, so it's already passed. He is not weak up to this point as of yet, but there is another walk. So back-to-back walks to start the 7th inning. And looking at the bullpen, I think San Francisco is going to have a quick hook here, and they're going to go get Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray pitched well, but 2 walks here to start the 7th inning, and that's not going to fly. So Matt Albers will be the man out of the bullpen to take over. And let me see here. Actually, we may pull a double switch here. Yeah, we're gonna double switch. So this may take a second here. I apologize the delay, but you may not get to see many double switches on YouTube Strat. So Grady Sizemore is going to come in for Franklin Gutierrez. Oops. He will bat in the 9th spot. And play left field. The pitcher spot will be the 7th hole when that comes aboard. And the new pitcher will be Matt Albers, the right-hander. So Robbie Ray goes 6+ innings. Gave up 4 hits. 1 run that we know of so far, 6 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And that's what did him in. So Matt Albers makes his way. He is a right-handed pitcher. Matt Albers, let's look at his numbers. 7 innings so far this season. Has a win. 3 hits given up. No runs. 3 strikeouts and a walk. So he's been pretty solid out of the bullpen. And he will take over. And let's put, let's see here, Iannetta. And we will move the card for Franklin Gutierrez to the bench. Okay. I think we're ready to go here now with 2 men aboard. Hernan Perez up to bat. The infield is in for San Francisco. No, you know what? They're going to try and get a double play. They're going for a double play. And Perez against Albers. It's a 2-9. A 2-9 is a strikeout. So Albers gets a quick out to start his appearance. And now we've got a decision to make. Taijuan Walker is up to bat with 2 men aboard. And it's not going to be that difficult of a decision. They've got a big bat off the bench. And they're going to use it. And that is Matt Kemp. So Matt Kemp, normally I'd probably bring in a lefty. But the only lefty on the bench is A.J. Przinsky. And he is the backup catcher. So we're not going to blow through him just in case of an injury. So Matt Kemp, this is the chance to try and break the game open. So he's going to pinch hit for Walker here in the 7th. And he will face Matt Albers. So Matt Kemp steps in. A 5-7. A 5-7 is a fly ball to center field. Nobody's going to be able to advance. And the center fielder, Rajai Davis, is able to make the play. So now 2 down. Moreland and Simeon still stranded. And Anthony goes 2 strikeouts and a triple to his name today. And he's looking to drive in a couple runs. So 4-2. A 4-2 is a fly ball to center. Rajai Davis camped under this one. And Matt Albers comes in with 2 on and leaves him stranded. Some good work for him as he continues to shine out of the bullpen for San Francisco. And Robbie Ray gives him a big round of applause as his book is closed with 1 run given up. And now we need a new pitcher for the top of the 8th as Taijuan Walker was pinch hit for. And that will be Pedro Strop. Pedro Strop will make way onto the field. And as well as Robbie Ray and as Taijuan Walker have pitched, neither of them will factor into the decision, which is kind of a shame. They pitched well enough, both of them, to get the victory. But not to be today. Pedro Strop comes in hoping to stop San Francisco from scoring. See what I did there? All right, Taijuan Walker went 7 innings. I'm sure he's never heard that before, right? Being a bullpen guy. He gave up 4 hits. 1 run. It was earned. Struck out 4 and walked nobody. So a really nice start for Taijuan Walker. But he makes way for Pedro Strop and Chris Iannetta. Are they going to let him hit? They could pinch hit for him and put Tuffy Gozwich into the game. That's what they're going to do. They're going to pinch hit with Alexi Amarista, the left-hander, trying to get something started here to start the inning. The lefty, Alexi Amarista. And this will remind me that I have to defensive replace him. Okay, Amarista. It's a 6-8, and Amarista does his job. He draws a walk. So a leadoff walk for Strop. And now the lefty Grady Sizemore with his first at bat after we double switched in the bottom of the 7th. And Grady Sizemore with a 3-8, and that is a strikeout. So Pedro Strop strikes out Grady Sizemore for the first out in the top of the 8th. Sizemore's been struggling off the bench. Maybe we should get him a start here or there to see if his bat will wake up. Now Rajai Davis, 0 for 3 today. This one looks pretty good in that one column. A 1-8. And, oh, no, the 1-8 is a grounder to the shortstop. Simeon is able to make the play to second baseman Taylor. Taylor wheels and fires to the first baseman Moreland, and that will be a double play. So a 6-4-3 double play. And Pedro Strop. Strops the bleeding. I'm sorry. I had to go to the well one more time. I had to. He's probably going to get replaced, so we'll strop. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, Matt Albers. Matt Albers now. He was he pitched a quick 8th inning, so they're going to keep rolling with Matt Albers. And he will deal with Chris Taylor now. Chris Taylor is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts so far. And this is a 5-3. This is a pitcher X chance. So Albers is a 3-range pitcher. A 314 is going to his E rating. He is an E39. So E39 is, and we rolled a 9. So that is going to be an error on Albers. And Chris Taylor is aboard on an E1. Well, the one guy you probably didn't want to get on base, and that's Chris Taylor. He is a B stealer, a 1-14 runner. And we forgot to put Gozwich in the lineup here, or in the defensive position. So we will do that. So Gozwich took over for the pinch hitter Amarista. So Tuffy Gozwich is now the catcher. And Tuffy Gozwich is a -2 arm. So a B stealer, they are holding him. So it's a 1-13 -3. So it would be a 1-10. A -2, so it would be a 1-8 for the steal rating. And Justin Upton now is up to bat. And they're going to let Upton swing away against Matt Albers. Matt Albers gets a 3-5, and a 3-5 is a strikeout to Justin Upton. Justin Upton now 0 for 3 on the day with a walk, and that is the second strikeout for Matt Albers on the day. And Jay Bruce, the big lefty, now approaches. He's been struggling on the year. Did hit a home run, though, in the 4th. And Matt Albers is looking to the bullpen, and for good reason. They're going to go get him and bring out the lefty specialist, Andrew McKirahan. So we've got a break in the action. Andrew McKirahan will replace the righty Matt Albers. And this is a gamble because this is the only lefty they have in the bullpen for San Francisco. And they're going to use him right here. So Matt Albers went 1, 2, 3, 1 1/3. Didn't give up a hit. There's still a run out there to be had. 2 strikeouts and didn't walk a batter. McKirahan comes into the ball game. And McKirahan has gone 2.6 innings, 2 2/3. No record, 9 hits in 2 2/3. Giving up 2 runs, a strikeout, and a walk. So he can be had. We'll see what he can do against the lefty Jay Bruce. The lefty on lefty matchup. Bruce was able to hit a home run off the lefty earlier this game against Robbie Ray. This is a 1-7, and that is a fly ball to center field. Center fielder Davis is under it and makes the play. So McKirahan does his job. And with Wellington Castillo up, they're going to let McKirahan handle him with Moreland behind him, the left-hander. So Castillo looking to do some damage off the lefty. If there was another lefty in the bullpen, we probably wouldn't pitch to Wellington Castillo here. We'd go get the righty and go play matchup ball here. But we don't have that luxury with San Francisco's roster. This is a 5-4. It's a center field X chance. Rajai Davis has been busy today, and he is a 3-range center fielder. And we rolled a 16. 3-16 is an out. The third out is made. So Wellington Castillo hits it pretty hard, but Davis is able to make the play, and that is the third out of the inning. So New York gets a man aboard. The error to... Oh, I didn't write the error. Yeah, the Albers. The error did not hurt him. And the end of the 8th here. So that'll close the book on Albers. Didn't give up a run. And it'll be up to... Let's see. Will they let Strop continue? Or will they go get Felipe Rivero? Strop walked a man, struck out a man, and then grounded into a double play. So they'll let Strop go. Javi Baez will be the man to bat against Strop in the top of the 9th. They're going to try and save some arms in case this thing goes to extra innings. They're going to let Strop work it out. And this is a 1-2. A 1-2 is a leadoff walk. So Javi Baez is aboard. He is a D stealer. Marwin Gonzalez is a bunter, but his card is probably too good to bunt, right? No. With Stanton up, Gonzalez is going to bunt. So they're probably not expecting it. Gonzalez is a really good... He can make contact. I don't see many ground outs here. Lots of... Well, I don't know. A D-stealer, they wouldn't be holding him, so they probably would go infield in. All right, so yeah, they're going to infield in. So he will be a B bunter. So a B10. Batter is safe. Leading runner is thrown out by the pitcher. So Gonzalez can't get the butt down. Extends it out just a little bit too far. And that's a fielder's choice 1-4. So Baez is out at second. And now Marwin Gonzalez is at first. So, well, at least he didn't ground into a double play. But Giancarlo Stanton now, the man with a bat in his hand. And I'm not sure that they want to have Pedro Strop be the man pitch to him. Let me check his card real quick. 81 strikeouts. That's pretty good. We do have Felipe Rivero. Yeah, you know what? It's pretty much the same. So they're gonna let Strop. They're gonna let Strop go to Stanton here. That's a 4-4. A 4-4 is an X chance. That is an X chance for the center fielder Ghost. And Ghost is a 2-range center fielder. And that is a 2-2. And a 2-2 is a single 2 stars. So just when you needed Giancarlo Stanton to come up big, he gets a single. And Gonzalez will take the extra bag and get to third. And now there is runners on the corners with only one out here. Matt Duffy. So they are gonna go get Strop now. And they're gonna go to Felipe Rivero. Probably should have done that earlier, but Strop, they believed in Strop. The righty Felipe Rivero looking to get some strikeouts. Strop went 1 in the third innings. Gave up 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk. So Matt Duffy will be the man here against the... You know, the problem is Pedro Strop is the only right-handed batter we have in the bullpen. So by going to get him, it's a lefty on righty matchup, but they had to do it. Strop was struggling, and now Matt Duffy is up against the righty or the lefty. So a 2-5 is a strikeout. So Matt Duffy strikes out, and that's just what the manager wanted for Rivero. And that is the second out of the inning, and that is a big one. And now Johnny Peralta with the pitcher hitting behind him. Johnny Peralta up against the lefty, and do we walk him? On the bench is Christopher Negron, Brandon Jury, and Alex Rios. So do we walk Peralta to load the bases to make them pinch hit? I think so. So the strategy is going to be to intentionally walk Peralta to load the bases, which is probably against all orthodox baseball fandom strategy. But they're going to put Peralta on, forcing the hand of San Francisco with the pitcher up. And they're going to have to sub McKirahan out, knowing that McKirahan is the only lefty in the bullpen for San Francisco. And they've got Mitch Moreland coming up in the bottom half. They've got to go get him. And that's a smart play, I think, by New York to chase their pitcher, their only lefty, out of the bullpen. So Brandon Drury will be the man to pinch hit. So Brandon Drury pinch hit in the 9th against the left-hander Felipe Rivero. If you look at Drury's 1 column, there's quite a few black inks there. And this is a 2, a 2-3. A 2-3 is a ballpark single chance. So if this is a 1 roll, a 5% chance at 1 roll, they will take the lead. And it's a 15. So Drury lines it out to the shortstop. And that will end the inning. So the strategy pays off for the New York manager, walking Johnny Peralta. And now it's up to them in the bottom half of the 9th inning to get a walk-off to score this thing. So McKirahan is going to have to come out. And McKirahan will make way for Josh Fields. Let's get the numbers on McKirahan here. McKirahan went 2/3 of an inning. Didn't give up any runs or hits. No strikeouts and no walks. And the right-hander, Josh Fields, will take over. Josh Fields comes into the ball game having pitched in 7 2/3 innings. He's got to win. 6 hits, 2 runs, given up, 8 strikeouts, and 6 walks. So he's walked a fair share of batters and given up a couple runs. But he's looking to shut him down here, and the left-hander, Mitch Moreland, now looking to end this thing. That's a 2-8. And a 2-8 is a grounder back to the pitcher. Fields is able to field his position and toss it over to the first baseman for the first out. Marcus Semien now. Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien has had a quiet day at the plate. Struck out once, walked once, and flew out to the right fielder. This is a 5-10, and a 5-10 is a strike. Well, it's a single chance. A single chance, so it could be a 1, and nope, it's a line out to the shortstop. So 2 quick down here. And Hernan Perez, it will be left up to him to extend the inning or send him home happy. And Hernan Perez, a 5-8. The 5-8, it's a 1-19 single chance. And this will be a single. So Hernan Perez, with 2 outs, is aboard here in the bottom of the 9th. And now they'll have to get a pinch hitter. And that will be Stephen Piscotty. So the pinch hitter, Stephen Piscotty, will look to advance Perez at the least and send him home and send everybody home happy. Piscotty pinch hits here in the 9th against Josh Fields. And it's a 4-7, and a 4-7 is a strikeout. So Piscotty can't get the job done, and this one is going to extras. Couldn't settle it through 9. And that's a 1-1 ball game. And we've got extra innings. So Felipe Rivero has to come out after being pinch hit for. And another lefty will be... You know, we do have some long guys, so I probably lied to you there, saying that he was the only lefty. I mean, the only righty. They're not great options, but we can get Trevor Cahill. Yeah, I guess we could do that. We've got a bunch of righties coming up. So Cahill with the pitcher of just being pinch hit for. We're going to go get him. I don't feel comfortable about putting Cahill out there, but not a lot we can do. He's the long reliever, extra starter if we need him. So Rivero will close the book on Strop. Strop didn't give up a run. Rivero went 2/3 of an inning. No hits, no runs. Struck out one and intentionally walked one. And Trevor Cahill will take over, and he will face the new catcher, Tuffy Gozwich, who is making his first plate appearance today. It's a 3-9, and that will be a grounder to the third baseman. Perez makes the play, tosses it over first, and that is the first out here in the 10th inning. If you're just joining us, thank you for doing so. I am Craig with a little late night strat action here on the RNGIDP channel. And this is Grady. Actually, you know what? We need to have a pinch hitter here, don't we? Nope, Grady Sizemore. We double switched. I'm losing track. It's getting late. 5-7. That's a second base X chance to the lefty. The second baseman is Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor is a 2-range second baseman. Then we rolled a 2. A 2-2 is a single for Grady Sizemore, who's now 1 for 2 in his 2 plate appearances. So Grady Sizemore is aboard, and Rajai Davis, the leadoff man, 0 for 4 today. 0 for 4, and this is not going to help him either. Grounded out to short, and they made a double play his last time up, and he's going to do the same thing here. A 6-4-3 double play. 2, 3. So Simeon to Taylor to Moreland, and the top of the 10th is over quickly. Cahill did better than I thought he was going to do. And this is a 1-1 game still going into the bottom half of the 10th inning. Josh Fields will continue to roll. If anybody needs to come in, it will probably be Jumbo Diaz. But he's been used quite a bit, so they're going to try and stay away from him as much as possible. And so Josh Fields will continue here. That's a 3-8. A 3-8 against the lefty Anthony Goes, and that is a strikeout. So the second strikeout for Fields. And Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And this one doesn't look good under that 2 column. A 2-5, and that's a strikeout. So 3 strikeouts for Chris Taylor today. Not a good appearance at the bat. Made the plays out in the field, but has had a rough day at bat. Justin Upton with the bases clear against Josh Fields. 4-5, and a 4-5 is a shortstop X chance. Johnny Peralta is a 4-ranged shortstop. Let's get his card out because this one looks like it's going to the error rating. Johnny Peralta is a 4-11, and it will be an error rating. His E10, and that's a 5. And a 5 is just enough with an E10. That's a pretty low E rating to make the play. So Johnny Peralta makes the play at short, and this will go to the 11th inning. No end in sight, and maybe we should have saw this coming because these teams are right next to each other in the standings. Both of them have problems scoring runs, and that's the problem we have here, is nobody wants to score a run. Trevor Cahill continues against Javi Baez. It's a 5-10, and that is a shortstop X chance. And the shortstop is Simeon, and he's a 4-range shortstop as well. A 4-9, and that's going to go to his E rating. Simeon is a E38, though, much worse than Peralta. And a 8 is going to be an error. So Javi Baez has been on base for his last 3 at-bats, and that's an E6 this time. So we find ourselves in the same situation. Marwin Gonzalez couldn't get the butt down last time. Will they make him try it again? He is a B bunter. Or they can hit and run. They are going to, let's see here. The infield is in, expecting the bunt, but he's going to hit and run. He's going to hit and run this time, and that is he is a B hit and run with the infield in. A B6, a ground out to second, and the runners advance one base. So, couldn't get it done with the sacrifice, but does it this way and advances the runner. And now there's a man on second base with the big man, Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton up to bat. Trevor Cahill wipes the sweat from his brow as Giancarlo Stanton makes his way. And maybe they should walk him. But he's only 1 for 4 today. So they're going to pitch to him. You don't want him to hurt you. But he's prone to strike out. You know what? They're gonna pitch to him. This is a 5-11. A 5-11 is a left field X chance, and that is a 5. If I could get it out of the hole there, a 5-5. All right, a 5-11 with a 5 X chance to the left fielder. The left fielder is Justin Upton. Upton is a 3-range left fielder. 5 will be a single 2 stars. Let me double check that just to make sure. That's a 5-11, so a left field X chance. He is a left fielder 3. So left field 3, 13. And I was not correct. Okay, I was looking at the center field chart. So left field 3, 13 is going to go to his E rating. He is an E3, and we roll a 6. E3 6 is a fly ball B. Okay, so I got excited there and thought he might have scored, but this is a fly ball to left field, and Javi Baez is not able to advance to third. So Matt Duffy now with 2 outs, man on second in scoring position, tripled his first at bat. This is a 3-5, and a 3-5 is a strikeout. So Trevor Cahill is doing his job. And that is the first strikeout for him. This goes to the bottom of the 11th. Still tied at 1. Nobody wants to score. Josh Fields looking to the dugout, seeing if he should continue for his 3rd inning of work. And I don't think they're going to let him go 3. They're going to bring out Jumbo Diaz, the big right-hander with no lefties left in the bullpen. Jumbo Diaz will be coming in to face Jay Bruce. So Josh Fields did his job. He pitched pretty well. We'll get his totals here in a second. So Fields went 1, 2. There's 1 inning. He went 2 innings. Gave up 1 hit, no runs. Struck out 3 batters and didn't walk a guy. And Jumbo Diaz takes over to face the lefty, Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce, the lefty, and that is a strikeout. So Diaz comes in and picks up where Fields left off and strikes out the first batter he faces. Wellington Castillo now. And Wellington Castillo, we've got A.J. Przinsky on the bench. Castillo is 1 for 4 today. But they're going to let him hit. They're going to let Castillo on. Castillo with a 5-8 a 5-8, and it's a good thing they did because this could be a triple, but it is a single. The center fielder is able to scoop into the gap and pick it up and keep Wellington Castillo at a single. And now maybe they will pinch run for Castillo. Let's see what we have left on the bench. We've got Howie Kendrick, Dan Ugla, and AJ Pierzynski. So I think they'll pinch run Wellington Castillo with Howie Kendrick. So one moment as we get the pinch runner. Howie Kendrick. And Mitch Moreland is now the batter, the lefty. And this is a 2-5, a 2-5, a 1-17 single. That's a 16, so just barely. It's a single 1 star, so Kendrick can't use his wheels. He's going to have to stop at second. And New York has something going here in the bottom of the 11th. 2 men on, first and second, for Marcus Semien. Jumbo Diaz in a little bit of trouble here. 1 out. Infield is back, looking for a double play. And 6-8. 6-8 will be a second base X chance. That's a 2, so that may not be good for him. Javi Baez is the second baseman, and he is a 2-range second baseman. Second base 2 is a single 1 star. So they're going station to station here, but there's only 1 down. And now the bases are loaded. Moreland has to stop at second. And the pinch runner, Howie Kendrick, stops at third. So the bases are loaded for Hernan Perez. Nowhere to put him. And Jumbo Diaz in a little bit of trouble. They could go get their closers, Tolleson. The pitcher, Jumbo Diaz, is a relief 1. So he has reached his point of weakness. So they are going to have to go get him. And I don't think they want to go get the closer yet. So they're going to get Luis Garcia out of the bullpen. Not wanting to waste the closer yet. But with the pitcher, Jumbo Diaz, reaching his inning of weakness, there's just not a lot of choice. They got to go get him. So Diaz disappoints, goes a third of an inning, gives up 3 hits, 1 strikeout, and no walks. Struck out the first man he faced, and that was the lefty, Jay Bruce, but couldn't get anybody else out. So Hernan Perez now, the infield is in, looking to cut off the run at the plate. This is a 4-5. A 4-5 is a strikeout. So Hernan Perez strikes out with the bases loaded. And that is the second out of the inning. And it'll be up to the pinch hitter now. It'll be up to a pinch hitter, and that will be AJ Pierzynski. So AJ Pierzynski, the left-handed catcher, is going to pinch hit here in the bottom of the 11th. And the bases are loaded with 2 outs against Luis Garcia, the right-hander. It's a 4-10. And a 4-10 is a strikeout. So Luis Garcia, with 2 big strikeouts, comes in and closes the door. What a managerial decision. And it worked out. 2 strikeouts. And this one's going to the 12th. We are really having some late night strat here. So Pierzynski will stay in and he will do the catching. The pinch runner Kendrick will have to make way. That'll be the pitcher's spot. Will be the 5 spot now. And the pitcher Cahill will be done. And Jumbo Diaz got to be Luis Garcia's best friend now. All right, so let's go get. We've got left. We got to get a lefty now. And that's going to be Sam Freeman. So Sam Freeman will take over for Cahill. Cahill went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs, struck out 1, and did not walk anybody. So Freeman now takes over, and Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, in the top of the 12th. Let me mark this down. This one is gone to extended innings here. Thank you for staying with me. And hopefully you're finding this fun as I am. So Johnny Peralta now, the right-handed batter against the lefty. And a 1-4 double chance. And it's a 2, and that's a double for Johnny Peralta to start off the inning. That die, it teetered. It felt like it teetered on that for about a second and then landed right on the 2. So Brandon Drury was the pinch hitter, and now that is the pitcher's spot. So we're going to have to pinch hit for Drury again. And this will be Alex Rios. Well, yeah, they're going to have Alex Rios pinch hit. I was thinking about having the pitcher just bunt him over to third, but they're not going to waste an out. He's already in scoring position, and Rios is a decent hitter, so they're going to try and get him to score. So Rios, the righty, against the lefty. It's a 10, and that's a fly ball left field C. No one can advance to left field. Upton makes the play, and that's the first out. So Rios can't get it done, and now Tuffy Gozwich. Tuffy Gozwich grounded out to third his last time up. It's a 4-6, and a 4-6 is a strikeout. So Freeman battles back. His first strikeout. There's 2 down now after a leadoff double. And the lefty Grady Sizemore now up against the lefty Sam Freeman. This is a 5-6, and the lefty walks. So didn't want to face the lefty, and now there's 2 aboard for Rajai Davis. Somebody has to score eventually, and maybe I jinxed this at the beginning of the game. I said somebody has to win. Well, maybe they don't. Well, here's a chance. 1-4 is a double. This would bring home a run, and it is a 9. A 9 is a fly ball to left field, and the inning is over. No score for San Francisco. And that's the end of the 12th. The top of the 12th. So San Francisco hasn't scored in 10 innings. They've been shut out for quite a while. And they just burnt through Luis Garcia. And this bullpen is getting a little bit light. So they've used Alberts, Fields, Garcia, Diaz, McCurahan. They're going to have to go to the long relief guys. And one of that would be Drew Hutchison. So Drew Hutchinson, or Hutchison, not Hutchinson, Hutchison, will take over here for the bottom half of the 12th, the right-hander. Garcia went 2 big thirds of an inning. No runs, struck out 2. And Hutchison will be the 7th pitcher of the night used by San Francisco. And he will hit the leadoff spot in the order. Anthony Gose. Anthony Gose is 1 for 5. And this is a 3-6. And that's a grounder to short. And that will be an easy play for an out. First out of the bottom of the 12th. Chris Taylor now. And you know what? We still have one on the bench. We still have Dan Ugla on the bench. And this is a 5-8. A 5-8 is a single to Chris Taylor. So Chris Taylor gets his first hit of the ball game and his 6th at bat. Chris Taylor is a B stealer. Tuffy Gozwich, I believe, is a -2. Yep, he is. So, not a great matchup for him. It would be a 1-8. A 1-8. Justin Upton is going to try and do it himself. That's a 1-3. And a 1-3 is a fly ball to right. So that's not going to get it done. And now it's up to Jay Bruce, the lefty. Jay Bruce could go a long way to help himself out in the eye of the press in New York with a big hit here. Been struggling in that cleanup spot, but facing the lefty, and that's a 3-7, and that is a strikeout. So he can't do it. Strikes out, and this will go to 13 innings. Does anybody want to score? I'm almost out of room on my score sheet. I've only ever planned for 13 innings. And somebody score. Sam Freeman will continue. Not a lot of choice left in the bullpen for either side, so Freeman is going to have to get extended here. Javi Baez has been on base this last 3 times. And this is a strikeout, so he strikes out against Freeman. That is Freeman's 2nd strikeout on the game. Here in the top of the 13th on the RNGIDP channel. We've already gone an hour and a half with this game. This is a long one. This is a 2-8 to the right-handed hitting now, Marwin Gonzalez, and that is a pop out to second. And in between innings here, I'm going to grab a drink of water. But Giancarlo Stanton, he could put a dent in one and could give San Francisco a lead here with the lefty Sam Freeman. And this is a 4-7. He's not going to give him that chance. He's going to walk him. So pitches around Stanton, and I don't blame him. Matt Duffy started with a bang, with a triple, but ever since then has fizzled. 0 for 4 in his last 4 at-bats with 2 strikeouts. And here he is with 2 outs, man on first. There's a lot of black ink in that one column, and this is a single to left field. Giancarlo Stanton has pretty good wheels, so we'll check and see if he can make it. He's a 1-14 runner. He was being held, so that's a 1-13. There are 2 outs, so it's a 1-15. This is a single to left field. The left fielder is Upton. Upton is a +1, so it'd be back to a 1-14 chance that he makes it to third. With 2 outs, he's not going to do it. It's going to stay at second. And Johnny Peralta now, the team leader in RBI, steps in. Stanton's got pretty good wheels, could make it home from first. Freeman deals. It's a 1-6, and a 1-6 is a grounder to the pitcher, Freeman, and he is able to make the play over at first, and that will end the threat and end the top half of the 13th. San Francisco, look at all those zeros. I mean, I guess New York's bullpen is low in their ERA. Drew Hutchison now. Drew Hutchison to Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick with his first at-bat pinch ran for Wellington Castillo his last appearance. This is a 5-5, and that's a shortstop X chance. And the shortstop is the Johnny Peralta, and we know he's a shortstop 4. 4-9 is going to the E rating. And I should remember his E rating, but it's it's an E10. It's pretty good. E10 and a 6. And that's enough to have a good play at short. So Kendrick grounds out to short. And I'm trying to think in the back of my mind what we'll do is if this goes to 14, where we'll put it on the scoreboard. Moreland now, the lefty, could send us home here for, let's see, a 2-8, and that's a grounder to the pitcher. And that is the second out of the bottom of the 13th. Marcus Semien now. Marcus Semien, 1-for-4 with a walk and a strikeout. Did commit an error in the field, too. That's a 1-8, and a 1-8 is a walk, so he draws a walk here with 2 down. And that will bring up you know what? I should have. The pitcher spot is where Kendrick is, and so I messed that up. So it should have been Dan Ugla. Dan Ugla was the pinch hitter. So we will credit that to Dan Ugla. So that at bat will be Dan Ugla's. Doesn't change what happened on the scoreboard, but just for consistency's sake, want to make that clarification. You probably are yelling out about it at home. He was supposed to be the pitcher. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, so Hernan Perez with a man on first. 2 outs. 2-5. And this is a single chance. 1-5. And it is a single. Hernan Perez continues to impress and extends the inning here with a 2-out base hit. Semien going station to station, and that will be left up now to A.J. Przinsky, the left-handed catcher, left-handed batting catcher. 2 down, men on first and second. It's a 6-6, a 6-6. Oh, this could be good. It's in the gap, and that is a 1-15 double chance, and it's a 3. So Przinsky hits one to the gap, and Semien gets on his horse and comes around to score, with A.J. Przinsky being the hero and mercifully ending this one with a walk-off double to score Marcus Semien from second base. So just when you thought all hope was lost that these teams would ever score again, A.J. Przinsky comes up big with the 2-out double. off Drew Hutchison in the bottom of the 13th. And this one is a final. 2-1. New York is able to get the victory. Drew Hutchison gives up the hit to A.J. Brzezinski, and the fireworks are going off in New York. Sam Freeman will be the winner. Drew Hutchison gets the loss. Drew Hutchison, he went in 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, the winning run, struck out 1 and walked. He walked Simeon, which came around to be the winning run. And wouldn't you know it, that a free pass on base is the one that ends up winning the game. So Freeman did some pretty good work out of the bullpen. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, struck out 2 batters, and walked a pair. So this one's a final. I will tally all this up, and well, this was fun. We've gone about almost 2 hours. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it kept your attention. San Francisco, man, they scored in the 2nd inning and then 0 after that. The New York bullpen, give them a hand. They are the MVP of this one, even though Brzezinski gets the game-winning hit. But that'll do it for me here. I'm going to post all these. I'll post this scorecard if you want to get a closer look. I post all the scorecards over on the Twitter page at RNGIDP_Strat. Give me a follow there. Thanks to Al for joining in the chat. Al, Red Sox fan. Give his YouTube channel a check. He does a lot of Sims and a lot of computer games. You should go check him out, Al, Red Sox fan. Check out our friends all over the YouTube. Tabletop Baseball, Tenacious Earl. I enjoy watching his stuff. But that'll do it for me tonight. And I thank you for watching. Good night.